with Steve McMurray.
And a good Thursday morning to you. I'm Steve McMurray, in for Gary today.
And I'm meteorologist James Fazio, in for Eric.
And Eric picked a good day to not have to drive in. Little slick this morning. We both got in and we said, wow, that was an interesting ride.
That was a little white knuckly.
Yeah, and mix of everything out there.
A little bit of everything, yeah. When I left Utica, it was slush. By the time I got about halfway here, I hit snow. When you got up to the top of the hill, it was a mix of snow and ice. So we got a little bit of everything out there
so
today.
Be careful and allot yourself some extra time. But it's going to warm up. So
for sure, it is going to warm up, and we are tracking those temperatures very diligently. Let's take a look at some of the conditions that we have around the area. We can see that we have snow overspread most of the region, but again, a lot of this is falling at temperatures that are above freezing. Taking a look at downtown Utica, the snow's not really sticking to anything. It's not amounting to much. We're more of a slush event currently in Utica with temperatures at 33 degrees. Cooperstown, about an hour ago, was at 32 and the roads were completely snow covered. Now 33 degrees with just slush on the roadways. Your York for Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar depicting that big spread in terms of precipitation type. Many of us seeing rain, many of us seeing snow, especially to the north and east of Utica where the worst of the conditions are occurring. It has switched over to rain up in Griffiths, 33 degrees with light rain falling up in Rome. As you can see, as we take a look at temperatures around the area, areas north and east of Utica are really going to take the longest to warm up today. These are where the temperatures are currently in the mid to upper 20s and low 30s. Across the southern tier, temperatures are much warmer, around the freezing mark or just barely above. Fortunately today, though, we do all warm up above freezing. We all actually should climb above 40 degrees. It's going to end up being quite a pleasant day. Fortunately, we just have to get through the next couple of hours. Again, that cold spots hang on farthest north and east of Utica. We'll have more information coming up. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. For businesses, homeowners, and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. We're taking a look at conditions this morning as you head your way out the door, taking a look at our Munson commute cast. You can see we have a bit of a mixed bag out there today. We have the paint bag across the Doppler radar. We have a bit of rain, a bit of a wintry mix, and a snow slush off to the north and east of Utica. Depending on your location, it's a much different road condition. Up in Route 12, Woodgate, Boonville, seeing more of a snow closer to the valley locations. Route 5, Route 8, Route 20, seeing more wet roads, more slush as opposed to ice. Downtown Utica, very similar. It's more of a wet slush than a frozen slush. Cooperstown just rose above freezing a little while ago. These roads are just gradually improving. As you take a look at the Munson traffic flow, you can see it's very intermittent. We have areas of slow goes and crawls, and we have areas that are doing just okay. So no matter where you're headed today, just be careful. Give yourself some extra time out there. We're expecting these conditions to continue. As you can see across the Mesonet cameras, across the North Country, snow still falling across some of the areas in the Mohawk Valley like Westmoreland and Herkimer, either dry conditions or rainfall coming. Driving conditions a little bit slow right now. Save yourself a little bit of extra time. Snow and rain this morning. It gradually improves as the morning progresses. This afternoon, we're expecting primarily just cloudy conditions until temperatures drop back below freezing. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. A new lunar lander is on.
Well, your day. Watch for the Storm Tracker 2 Commute Cast and be ready for your drive to and from work. The Storm Tracker 2 Commute Cast is brought to you by the Pratt Munson College of Art and Design. Visit Pratt Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity.
I'm Ann Ferner, a proud Red Cap ambassador for America's greatest heart run and walk. I had a sudden cardiac arrest in 2023. Bystanders became my lifesavers as they performed CPR and taught my husband rescue breaths. The EMT used an AED to restore my rhythm. Please join me on March 7th and 8th for America's greatest heart run and walk. Let's help the American Heart Association save the lives of everyone we love.
Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday morning. We are tracking a wintry mix that is slowly going to transition over to rain. Fortunately, though, I can guarantee you we are going to climb well above freezing today, and we're all going to see non-wintry precipitation by the end of the day. Take a look at downtown Utica right now. You can see it's primarily slushy. It's just turned above freezing. It's not icy per se, as roads have been treated and temperatures are about 33, 34 degrees, but it is slushy. We did have a light coating of snow earlier today. This did move through earlier this morning throughout the early morning hours of 2 to 4 a.m. and brought a very light accumulation to the region, but temperatures are rising and they're going to continue to do so. You can see on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, those cold temperatures are going to hang on northeast of Utica for the longest. Temperatures to the south beginning to warm up already. Already 33 up in Rome. We've cracked the freezing mark there, which is fantastic. Rain being reported. It's going to be a tad breezy today, 5 to 10 mile per hour breeze throughout the day, but nothing extreme. Local temperatures, as I was saying, off to the northeast of Utica is really our problem area right now. We're looking at 32 degrees in Otter Lake, 31 in the Mohawk Valley and Little Falls, 32 across central New York and in Westmoreland, across, I should say, central Oneida County. As we head towards the southern valleys, a little bit warmer, still some cold spots though. There's still intermittent cold areas, 32 Oneonta, 32 Unadilla, a lot of warmer areas, 33 Cooperstown, 34 Hartwick. Fortunately though, we all warm up today. It's going to take a little bit of time to get through this morning. However, by the afternoon hours, we actually crack 40 degrees. We climb into the low 40s. We're all going to see some actual plain old rain. We're not going to have to worry about any mixed precipitation. And that's because this area of low pressure is going to track to our west. As it does so, it's going to bring in some warm air. As it draws in this warm air, we get that quick shot of rain. Once it moves past us, though, it starts to draw in cold air, and we finish off with snow showers for Friday morning. As we head into this weekend, we have our next weather maker arrives Saturday morning. Your skycast for today, that widespread wintry mix eventually completely transitions over to plain rain. Temperatures rise this morning all the way up by the afternoon into the low 40s. Tonight, even though temperatures decrease relatively quickly this evening, we stay above freezing for most of the evening. Got to watch out for some icy spots across the North Country, 29, 30 degrees across the North Country very early. So we head into the early morning hours of Friday. We switch back over to snow. We got to be careful for black ice as we head into Friday morning because temperatures will briefly dip below freezing. Today, that snow changes to rain, highs in the low to mid 40s, approximately 44. Tonight, above freezing for most, but if you're in the Adirondacks, be careful for that black ice. It is going to form at some point overnight. Your 7-day forecast, we're going on a bit of a roller coaster ride here. As we head into the weekend, we're expecting mixed precipitation to arrive on Saturday, early Saturday, possibility for a couple inches of snow, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. Then it gets really, really chilly. Sunday looks very cold, highs in the teens, lows Sunday night near 0 degrees.
And there you have it, the last part of that 7-day forecast, low of 0 on Sunday, and then 49 as a high on Wednesday.
I was going to say, but there's light right behind it.
Yeah, so welcome to Central New York.
Yes.
But now we got to keep an eye on flooding. So just keep it tuned to us because that's this time of year. All right, thanks a lot, James. Well, new data points to consumers feeling anxious. And good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Steve McMurray.
I'm meteorologist James DeFazio.
And so let's get a check of that forecast. And we were talking the 5 o'clock hour. The ride in this morning was interesting. Saw a little bit of everything, a little bit of snow, some sleet out there, maybe a little rain. I think it's all going to be, the temperatures are climbing. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. Conditions are improving. Still, we have to be careful. There's going to be isolated areas that are going to hold on to cold pockets. But in general, conditions are going to continually improve as the day progresses, which is what we want to see. Those temperatures are going to continue to climb. Fortunately, I know in the city of Utica, where I left my house, I was very slushy. As we got up here, it became a little bit more snowy. And that's elevation is going to play a role today as we track exactly where the temperatures stand. As you can see right now on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, The snow is predominantly falling over the higher elevations, and those are where those coldest temperatures lie. It's even reporting right now, you can see a pink over the Rome area. I believe when we show the current conditions here, Griffiths is going to be reporting Rome. A lot of this is falling as a wet, very wet snow at temperatures right around freezing. Downtown Utica, just a slushy, wet roadways, a little slippery, but nothing too icy. We're above freezing and conditions are improving. The snow-covered roads in Cooperstown have now turned to slush. They're at 33 degrees now. They've warmed above freezing. Again, this will continue to turn slowly more green as the day progresses. Everyone is going to change over to plain rain. Yes, it is currently 33 degrees up at Griffiths with rain falling, 10-mile-an-hour wind out of the east. That east wind is going to persist today between about 5 and 15 miles per hour. So it's not going to be completely calm out there in terms of winds. But as you can see, northeast of Utica, we're seeing those colder temperatures hanging on. 32 up in Otter Lake, 31 in Little Falls. The southern tier, a tad warmer, but still some cold spots, still hanging on to 32 degrees in Oneonta and Unadilla. However, as the day progresses, we do all rise above 40 degrees today. It's actually going to end up feeling incredibly mild this afternoon. Any wintry precipitation changes over to just a plain rain by midday. We may finish the day with a couple of snow showers, but by then things will have massively calmed down and precipitation will be much, much lighter. In full weather, we'll track exactly what you can expect coming up as things get colder behind today's rain. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. And again, take your time on the roads this morning waiting for those temperatures to warm up. Well, Hamas has handed over 4...
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli. The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We've climbed above freezing in Rome, but it's not above freezing everywhere yet. So if you're doing any traveling this morning, please use caution. Temperatures are going to slowly climb above that freezing mark, but some areas are still seeing some wintry precipitation. Despite it showing rain in Rome, there's probably some ice underneath that rain that's falling. It's probably a little slushy and a little slick out there. So again, give yourself some extra time this morning. That wintry mix changes to rain this afternoon. Please use caution though, because even with plain rain, we're going to have plenty of water on the roadways. There's going to be ponding on the roadways. Be careful for hydroplaning issues. Patchy black ice develops before Friday morning because we do dip below freezing very, very late tonight, very early Friday morning. Light lake effect snow for Friday, but the next big weather maker arrives for Saturday during the overnight Friday night into Saturday morning. And we're expecting just a light snow for the Mohawk Valley, possibly some shovelable snow for areas north of the Mohawk Valley. Your current Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, pretty dry to the south of Utica. To the north of Utica, where areas are the coldest right now, we're seeing that wet snow falling across northeast Oneida County, northern and central Herkimer County. And this is going to slowly transition to rain as the morning progresses, but we're going to have to get through a few more hours of temperatures around the freezing mark. Our temperature dial in Utica, as the day progresses, it's going to warm up. This is actually going to underdo it a little bit. We do think it's going to get even warmer than this. We think it actually may climb all the way up into the low 40s in Utica for a very, very brief period of time. Our temperature outlook over the next couple of days, we're going on a bit of a roller coaster ride. We cool way down on Sunday. Highs are only in the teens. Lows Sunday night about 0 degrees. But as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, highs are right back into the 40s. And we're expecting mild temperatures yet again. Tonight, that patchy black ice, we're worried about forming. Lows are going to be around 27 by tomorrow morning. If you're doing any traveling tomorrow morning, anything untreated may be slick. We'll have more coming up in full. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. Full military funeral services were held.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday morning. We're tracking wintry weather that is slowly transitioning over to just wet weather. Temperatures are rising today, and everyone is going to see temperatures above freezing, whereas in the past, not all of us got all the way above the freezing mark. Let's take a look at current conditions. Downtown Utica right now, a little slushy, but all in all, primarily just wet roadways. It is slick in areas. There are slick spots. It was slushy earlier today, so give yourself some extra time if you're doing any traveling this morning. Conditions vary greatly depending on your location. The North Country still seeing snow falling. Most of us across central New York down over to rain now with temperatures around 33, 34 degrees. Dry conditions actually across the southern valleys right now as we're waiting for our next round of rain to arrive. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. You can see what moved through earlier today across northern Oneida County and northern Herkimer County. Currently a dry slot down across the southern counties of our viewing area. And this is eventually going to fill in with rain. Rain is going to return for the second half of the day, but fortunately it will be with temperatures above freezing. We're already up to 33 degrees with rain in Rome at a 10-mile-per-hour wind. It is going to be a tad breezy today. These are the areas where those cold temperatures and those cold pockets are going to linger the longest. 32 up in Otter Lake, 27 in Inlet. We're starting to climb above freezing almost everywhere in Oneida County now. Across the southern valleys, Oneonta still holding on to 32. There's still those isolated cold pockets. What's going to happen today is this area of low pressure is going to track just to our west. We're getting a brief cold shot, but it's going to draw in warm air for a brief period of time today. It's going to warm us up into the low 40s. But then as that low pressure system continues to pass us, it draws in colder air behind it. And it's only going to get colder as we progress further towards Sunday. It's going to get really nasty by the time we get to Sunday. Taking a look at your skycast for today, that widespread precipitation, very widespread compared to what's actually on the radar right now. It's very dry off to the south. It's going to slowly overspread the area as the day progresses, and the temperatures will rise as it does so. We go from the mid-30s to the upper 30s into the low 40s for a short period of time. We do cool off this evening. At around 8:30 p.m., the North Country's already dipped below freezing. They're seeing some snow showers. Everyone's going to have to be have their eye out for patchy black ice for tomorrow morning as we dip below freezing. Very, very light snow showers overnight, no real accumulation, but again, it may be some icy spots as we wake up tomorrow. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we have that that snow changing to rain today. Temperatures climb into the low 40s. Some light lake effect snow on Friday, but no real accumulation. Widespread precipitation Saturday. However, temperatures warm again above freezing. The areas north of the valley may see a couple inches of snow, more of a nuisance precipitation for us here in the valley. And then it gets very cold again on Sunday.
All right, thanks a lot, James. So take it easy on the road this morning. Crews are out. Give them room to do what they need to do.
Absolutely.
And you should be good to go. Well, Texas officials reported the 5, and the news begins right now.
Now, the news with Steve McMurray.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I'm Steve McMurray, in for Gary.
Meteorologist James Tafazio here for Eric.
And we were talking this morning, the interesting ride in, a little bit of everything, depending on where you live, some snow, some rain, sort of slushy.
You want to make sure we were paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have to head out in the next few minutes, just take it slow. Road crews are out. I encounter road crews wherever I was, so they're out. Just give them some space to do what they need to do.
Absolutely. We're seeing a mix of everything. Conditions are improving, but there are still slick spots out there. So as Steve said, you have to definitely err on the side of caution, even if it has climbed above freezing. We had enough slush that it can still be slick out there. So let's look at where the radar stands at this point. Things have improved, but we're not completely done just yet. To the northeast of Utica, things are still below freezing. Areas like Boonville and Old Forge still seeing snow coming down. Temperatures are right around the freezing mark, but they're enough to make things slushy. And even though things may not be icy, slush is enough to make things slippery. And unfortunately, as things melt across the areas that have risen above freezing, we're expecting some ponding on the roadways like we experienced the other day with the rainfall. As you can see, downtown Utica right now, primarily just wet, slushy roadways. But as the day progresses and as the temperatures rise, we may have to deal with some ponding on roadways and possibly some hydroplaning issues. This dry slot that's off to the southwest towards the Finger Lakes is gradually going to refill in later this morning with more rainfall, and we're all going to see pretty much widespread rainfall throughout the day today. Light rain, 33 degrees. Winds are going to be between 5 and 15 miles per hour today, not entirely calm. Those current local temperatures still a little chilly off to the northeast of Utica, and as well as within the Mohawk Valley, still 31 degrees in Little Falls. Down to the south, primarily above freezing, but Oneonta's the cold spot, holding on to 32 degrees. So again, if you're doing any traveling, definitely err on the side of caution. Please be careful out there. We do warm up though. We get into the low 40s, upper 30s to low 40s. It's going to feel very nice. It's going to change all of us, even the North Country, over from snow over to rain. Coming up in full weather, we'll break down exactly what you can expect as we head into the weekend. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. For businesses, homeowners, and farmers.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good Thursday morning. We're tracking your road conditions as you head out the door this morning on our Munson CommuteCast, and things aren't too terrible, but they're not fantastic either. We saw a mix of precipitation move through overnight, so there is some slush on the ground, even in the areas where precipitation is currently not falling. Off to the northeast of Utica, still seeing some wet snowfall come down, so give yourself some extra time if you're doing some traveling. You can see road conditions across the area vary greatly, primarily wet roadways across the lower elevations, but as you head up towards Route 12, Woodgate, Boonville, you can see there's definitely some slush and some snow out on the roadways. Taking a look at the traffic tracker, you can see most of the areas lie north of I-90. It's primarily 12, 26, and 28, seeing some slow goes and crawls. But all in all, things are going to drastically improve today. Conditions vary greatly depending on where you are. Give yourself a little bit of extra time of your for your drive time today. The morning commute, snow and rain. Things improve, though, throughout the morning commute. The evening commute shouldn't be too rough. We're expecting temperatures to warm up very nice today. You're going to want to keep an eye on the temperature, though, if you live in the North Country tonight for your ride home. If you're heading home late, keep an eye on. We are expecting black ice to develop at some point overnight before tomorrow morning. We'll have a further look into how cold we're going to get tonight and what to expect for the weekend coming up in full weather. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. A new lunar lander is on its way to the...
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday morning. We had some wintry weather overnight, and our wintry weather is slowly switching over to wet weather. We're just going to have a very wet day today. Temperatures are going to rise above freezing for all of us. We're going to see rainfall at times. We're going to see ponding on roadways before things refreeze before tomorrow morning. Downtown Utica right now, primarily just wet roadways, a couple of slushy spots. You can see the cars are traveling pretty well. The DPW crews have been doing a phenomenal job out there, so conditions aren't horrific within the valley. Problem spots really lie to the east and to the north of Utica, where the coldest of the temperatures continue to lie. We have a big dry spot down here, a big area of dry air moving in from the Finger Lakes back towards central New York, and this will eventually fill in throughout the morning and relatively rapidly. It's going to do so. We'll show you on the larger radar and satellite imagery coming up here. 33 with light rain falling in Rome, still a 9-mile-an-hour breeze, which is about what we expect today, between 5 to 15 miles per hour for your wind today. Still hanging on to some below freezing temperatures up in the North Country, 28 degrees up in Inlet, 31 in the Mohawk Valley and Little Falls as well. Across central Oneida County, still seeing primarily above freezing temperatures. The southern valleys, the one spot holding on to 32 degrees, Oneonta, everyone else barely above freezing. So there are pockets of colder air in there, so use caution if you're doing any traveling early this morning. As you can see, we have that dry spot, but look what's back behind it, back to the south. And this is really going to be drawn in today as the low pressure center tracks to our north and to our west. And we're going to have plenty of rain on its way. This area of low pressure tracking to our west is also going to be responsible for drawing in that warm air. As it does so, we get that counterclockwise flow, get that really warm air, but as it moves past us, that cold air billows in right behind it for tonight. Your skycast for today, that widespread precipitation will move in over this morning. That dry, don't be fooled by that calm radar right now. That rain is on its way. We all warm up above freezing today. We get into the mid to upper 30s. We actually think we're going to get into the low 40s across the Mohawk Valley. So we head into this evening, snow showers across the Mohawk Valley, but light in nature, no real accumulation. The real worry as we head into Friday morning is going to be temperatures are going to dip near and below and near the freezing mark. We're expecting patchy black ice to develop in spots for your Friday morning. We're going to have to keep an eye out for anything that goes untreated tomorrow morning. Your 7-day forecast, predominantly a rainy, wet day today. Be careful if you're doing any traveling on, still going to be ponding on roadways with the amount of snow melt and that level of temperature. Some light lake effect on Saturday, a little bit more of a widespread system on Saturday. However, most of the precipitation falls north of the Mohawk Valley. You might see a couple inches of snow across the North Country. Calm cold for Sunday. And then we head back into warmer temperatures as we get into Monday and Tuesday. We're going on the roller coaster ride. They're taking us up and down.
All right, thanks, James. Well, new data points to consumers feeling anxious.
With Steve McMurray.
And good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Steve McMurray.
I'm meteorologist James Fazio.
And let's get a check of that forecast. And Jimmy and I were talking this morning on the way in. A little bit of snow, some rain, a little bit of sleet. But it's warmer now, so if you're out on the roadway, maybe just give a little extra couple minutes and give some plows, sanders, whatnot, a little bit of space.
Absolutely. The areas that are of most concern are of north and east of Utica. The Mohawk Valley holding on to some cold air. The Adirondack Park holding on to some cold air. Otherwise, everyone else has climbed above freezing for the most part. Let's take a look at some of our current conditions and exactly what we're tracking. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing what has moved through overnight off to the northeast of Utica now. Still some light snow falling across northern Oneida and northern Herkimer counties. However, dry air has worked its way into central New York, and we're actually going to experience a dry couple of hours before steady rainfall returns for most of the morning and most of the afternoon as well. Downtown Utica, just wet roadways at this point. The slush has pretty much subsided and melted to just water at this point, but we are anticipating that to be a concern as well. Wet roadways as the day progresses today may cause ponding on roadways. You're going to want to be careful as the temperature rises. We're expecting a good amount of snow melt. 33 with light rain falling in Rome, 9-mile-an-hour breeze out of the east-southeast. Some of those cold spots I was mentioning, Little Falls at 31, Inlet at 28. They're still yet to climb above freezing. Down across the southern valleys, Unadilla has actually dipped back down to 32. They were at 34 a little while ago. Everywhere else starting to climb substantially above freezing. Fortunately, as we head into the mid-morning hours and the early afternoon hours, we're all going to climb above freezing today. We're going to climb well above freezing. We're going to get into the low 40s. It's going to get really warm. We're going to track what's going to happen. We're going to show you what exactly is going to happen behind this little brief warm-up. It's going to be a series of warm-ups and cool-downs, but we'll break that down coming up in full. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. Some breaking news into the newsroom happening overnight. This is from the AP. Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog were found dead in their New Mexico home last night. Foul play is not suspected. However, authorities did not release any other details of the circumstances of their death. Again, this is Oscar-winning.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Good Thursday morning. We're tracking a predominantly wet day for your Thursday. It was a bit wintry this morning, but temperatures have risen above freezing. At Griffiths, currently 33 degrees. Things are starting to melt out there. It's starting to turn from snow over to slush, and we're going to see rain as the day progresses today. Just a light breeze between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Here's a few things of what we're tracking in our headlines. A wintry mix that is changing to rain this morning, and our temperatures are going to climb all the way to near 40 degrees. Patchy black ice develops for Friday morning, and With it, some light lake effect snow. That light lake effect snow is going to not be too problematic, and it's going to be very light in nature. We're not expecting any accumulation. And then the next system arrives Saturday, bringing widespread rain and snow to the region, and areas north of the Mohawk Valley may see a couple inches of accumulation. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we're seeing a bit of dry air across central New York right now. There is still some light snow falling across extreme northern portions of the viewing area. Radar will fill in as the morning progresses. We are going to see steady rainfall throughout the morning, throughout the middle of the day, and into the afternoon hours. Temperatures are going to climb, though, as the morning progresses. Temperature dial here underdoing it a little bit, showing it peaks around 37. We think it's going to get closer to about 41, 42 degrees today, which is going to be very, very comfortable. Temperatures, though, we're going on a bit of a roller coaster ride. So despite the fact that we warm up today, the next several days, a little bit different. The one thing to highlight here is that on Sunday, the highs are only going to be in the teens to near 20. The low Sunday night, almost near 0 degrees. But by Wednesday, we're almost 50 degrees higher. So that's a crazy, crazy, crazy change. Coming up in full weather, we're going to have a breakdown on what you can expect coming up beyond this. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. Full military funeral.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday morning. After a wintry start to the day, we're starting to transition into more of a just wet day. It's going to be a very, very wet day out there. We're expecting wet road conditions. Even as snow melts, even as the snow continues to melt today with temperatures above freezing, we may see some ponding on the roadways like we saw the other day. So even though the slippery travel may subside as the day goes by, we're still going to see some travel issues with the amount of rainfall we're expecting. Currently, though, Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing a big pocket of dry air. But as we zoom out, there is a lot of rain heading in our direction. It's currently 33 degrees, cloudy skies up in Rome, an 8-mile-an-hour wind out of the east-southeast. The wind is going to be a tad bit breezy today, about 5 to 15-mile-per-hour winds today. We're still seeing a couple areas that are holding on to some sub-freezing temperatures. The Mohawk Valley, such as Little Falls, 31. Inlet up in the Adirondack Park up at 30. Elsewhere across central Oneida County is above freezing, but those areas, there are pockets, especially that are east and north of Utica, that are hanging on to that sub-freezing temperatures. As you can see down to the west here, about to enter New York State across the Pennsylvania-New York State border, we have a lot of rainfall, and this is going to be brought right up through central New York today, and it's going to bring us about a half-inch of rain. This low pressure center is going to track to our west. It's going to help bring in that warm air this afternoon, but after it moves past us, it's also going to draw in that really cold air for Thursday night and for Friday morning. It's also going to turn on those light lake effect snow showers for Friday morning. Taking a look at the skycast, you can see widespread precipitation expected. That rainfall is going to overspread the area relatively quickly this morning. It's going to also rise in temperature as it does so. We rise right into the mid-30s, quickly into the upper 30s. We believe that some areas are actually even going to get into the low 40s for the middle portions of the day. So we head into the evening hours. Some areas finish with snow showers as opposed to rain. As we head towards Friday morning, we're going to see some lighter snow showers. I'm not sure exactly why we lost the data there. It went blank on you. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll break it down day by day. Rainy day today. Be careful doing any traveling. There's going to be some ponding on the roadways with the rainfall and temperatures this far above freezing. Patchy black ice develops for Friday morning. Light snow, non-problematic snow, more nuisance snow. A mix of rain and snow Saturday, widespread. Accumulations possible north of the Mohawk Valley. Cold Sunday, light snow Monday. Possibly a 50-degree difference between Sunday night and Wednesday afternoon. A big, big swing in temperature.
No doubt, from 0 to 49. There you have it. All right, thanks a lot, James. Texas officials reported the first measles.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday morning. After some wintry precipitation moved through last night, all of us saw some snow that switched over to a little bit of a sleet slush mix. We've transitioned over to primarily rain outside of the Adirondack Park, and we're expecting that to prevail today. Temperatures are going to continue to rise. We're tracking several things. It's a very active forecast period. Wintry mix that was around this morning, it has or is changing to rain, and temperatures climb to near 40 degrees today. We're expecting highs in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tonight, temperatures dip back below the freezing mark before daybreak, so patchy black ice Friday morning is expected, and light lake effect snow develops as the day progresses. It's not going to add up to very much, but it is going to be out there. The next system arrives Friday night into Saturday morning, bringing widespread rain and snow to the area. The areas that would see accumulating snow from that event would be north of the Mohawk Valley and in the higher elevations to the north of Utica. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, you can see some of that wintry weather that moved through earlier this morning. Right now we have a big pocket of dry air over central New York. It is going to quickly fill in and be overspread as the morning progresses. You can already see some of the showers beginning to poke in down to the south and west. And as this area of precipitation continues to work in our direction, this rainfall is going to it's going to overspread the region. It's not just going to move into our region, it's going to grow and overspread. We're expecting a full quarter to a half inch of rain today, quite a wet day, and it's going to cause the roadways to occasionally be too wet at times. So while we had slick spots this morning, we're going to be dealing with ponding on roadways by this afternoon with the rainfall and temperatures that we're expecting. This low pressure center that is responsible for this, for our wintry weather and for our rainfall this afternoon is going to track just to our northwest, and because it's doing so, we get a pocket of warm air before the cold air moves in. It's just a perfect positioning for this type of scenario where we get a quick little blast of warm air. The winds are out of the south today for a short period of time. Then the wind direction changes tonight and the snow returns. That northwest wind comes off the lake effect snow returns. And as we head into the weekend, it continues. As we head into Friday morning, we have a backdoor cold front work through. More cold air continues to billow in ahead of the next storm system that arrives Friday night into Saturday morning. Our temperature trend over the next the next week or so is all over the place. We're going on a roller coaster ride. We're going up into the mid 40s today, and then we're back down to around the freezing mark for highs tomorrow. Highs around 33 on Friday, but I really want to highlight the second half of this. The high on Sunday is in the upper teens to 20 at best. By Sunday night and Monday morning, we're looking at lows around 0 degrees, single digits at best. Highs on Wednesday are going to be in the upper 40s, possibly even low 50s. So it is going to be a very drastic increase as we head into next week. Temperatures are going to skyrocket. We're going to rise about 50 degrees in a little less than 3 days. It's pretty remarkable, actually. Taking a look at the skycast for this morning, that rain becomes widespread as the morning progresses and temperatures rise as that does so. We climb into the upper 30s to low 40s. As the afternoon settles in and the sun sets, some snowflakes may develop across primarily the northern portions of the area. All of us may see a couple of snowflakes before all is said and done. Not really going to add up to anything at all or accumulate at all. Temperatures are still very mild here. Midnight, we're 34 degrees in Utica. As we progress through the forecast period, by Friday morning, again, scattered lake effect snow, primarily just a cloudy, dry day ahead of our next system that arrives Friday night into Saturday. Today, that snow changes over to rain. Highs are going to be in the low 40s, approximately 44 degrees. This evening, showers 32 to 37, a mix of rain and snow depending on your location. Snow if you're up in the North Country. Temperatures are going to be slightly above freezing, but be careful if you're in one of the cold areas, because it's going to be heading towards the freezing mark sooner than later. Your 7-day forecast, we're tracking that widespread storm and precipitation for Saturday. Much colder weather settles in for Sunday, and then we warm up drastically next week.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday morning. After some wintry precipitation moved through last night, all of us saw some snow that switched over to a little bit of a sleet slush mix. We've transitioned over to primarily rain outside of the Adirondack Park, and we're expecting that to prevail today. Temperatures are going to continue to rise. We're tracking several things. It's a very active forecast period. Wintry mix that was around this morning, it has or is changing to rain, and temperatures climb to near 40 degrees today. We're expecting highs in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tonight, temperatures dip back below the freezing mark before daybreak, so patchy black ice Friday morning is expected, and light lake effect snow develops as the day progresses. It's not going to add up to very much, but it is going to be out there. The next system arrives Friday night into Saturday morning, bringing widespread rain and snow to the area. The areas that would see accumulating snow from that event would be north of the Mohawk Valley and in the higher elevations to the north of Utica. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, you can see some of that wintry weather that moved through earlier this morning. Right now we have a big pocket of dry air over central New York. It is going to quickly fill in and be overspread as the morning progresses. You can already see some of the showers beginning to poke in down to the south and west. And as this area of precipitation continues to work in our direction, this rainfall is going to it's going to overspread the region. It's not just going to move into our region, it's going to grow and overspread. We're expecting a full 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain today, quite a wet day, and it's going to cause the roadways to occasionally be too wet at times. So while we had slick spots this morning, we're going to be dealing with ponding on roadways by this afternoon with the rainfall and temperatures that we're expecting. This low pressure center that is responsible for this, for our wintry weather and for our rainfall this afternoon is going to track just to our northwest, and because it's doing so, we get a pocket of warm air before the cold air moves in. It's just a perfect positioning for this type of scenario where we get a quick little blast of warm air. The winds are out of the south today for a short period of time. Then the wind direction changes tonight and the snow returns. That northwest wind comes off the lake effect snow returns. And as we head into the weekend, it continues. As we head into Friday morning, we have a backdoor cold front work through. More cold air continues to billow in ahead of the next storm system that arrives Friday night into Saturday morning. Our temperature trend over the next the next week or so is all over the place. We're going on a roller coaster ride. We're going up into the mid-40s today, and then we're back down to around the freezing mark for highs tomorrow. Highs around 33 on Friday, but I really want to highlight the second half of this. The high on Sunday is in the upper teens to 20 at best. By Sunday night and Monday morning, we're looking at lows around 0 degrees, single digits at best. Highs on Wednesday are going to be in the upper 40s, possibly even low 50s. So it is going to be a very drastic increase as we head into next week. Temperatures are going to skyrocket. We're going to rise about 50 degrees in a little less than 3 days. It's pretty remarkable, actually. Taking a look at the skycast for this morning, that rain becomes widespread as the morning progresses and temperatures rise as that does so. We climb into the upper 30s to low 40s. As the afternoon settles in and the sun sets, some snowflakes may develop across primarily the northern portions of the area. All of us may see a couple of snowflakes before all is said and done. Not really going to add up to anything at all or accumulate at all. Temperatures are still very mild here. Midnight, we're 34 degrees in Utica. As we progress through the forecast period, by Friday morning, again, scattered lake effect snow, primarily just a cloudy, dry day ahead of our next system that arrives Friday night into Saturday. Today, that snow changes over to rain. Highs are going to be in the low 40s, approximately 44 degrees. This evening, showers 32 to 37, a mix of rain and snow depending on your location. Snow if you're up in the North Country. Temperatures are going to be slightly above freezing, but be careful if you're in one of the cold areas, because it's going to be heading towards the freezing mark sooner than later. Your 7-day forecast, we're tracking that widespread storm and precipitation for Saturday. Much colder weather settles in for Sunday, and then we warm up drastically next week.
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday morning. After some wintry precipitation moved through last night, all of us saw some snow that switched over to a little bit of a sleet slush mix. We've transitioned over to primarily rain outside of the Adirondack Park, and we're expecting that to prevail today. Temperatures are going to continue to rise. We're tracking several things. It's a very active forecast period. Wintry mix that was around this morning, it has or is changing to rain, and temperatures climb to near 40 degrees today. We're expecting highs in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tonight, temperatures dip back below the freezing mark before daybreak, so patchy black ice Friday morning is expected, and light lake effect snow develops as the day progresses. It's not going to add up to very much, but it is going to be out there. The next system arrives Friday night into Saturday morning, bringing widespread rain and snow to the area. The areas that would see accumulating snow from that event would be north of the Mohawk Valley and in the higher elevations to the north of Utica. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, you can see some of that wintry weather that moved through earlier this morning. Right now we have a big pocket of dry air over central New York. It is going to quickly fill in and be overspread as the morning progresses. You can already see some of the showers beginning to poke in down to the south and west. And as this area of precipitation continues to work in our direction, this rainfall is going to it's going to overspread the region. It's not just going to move into our region, it's going to grow and overspread. We're expecting a full quarter to a half inch of rain today, quite a wet day, and it's going to cause the roadways to occasionally be too wet at times. So while we had slick spots this morning, we're going to be dealing with ponding on roadways by this afternoon with the rainfall and temperatures that we're expecting. This low pressure center that is responsible for this, for our wintry weather and for our rainfall this afternoon, is going to track just to our northwest. And because it's doing so, we get a pocket of warm air before the cold air moves in. It's just a perfect positioning for this type of scenario where we get a quick little blast of warm air. The winds are out of the south today for a short period of time. Then the wind direction changes tonight and the snow returns. That northwest wind comes off the lake effect snow returns. And as we head into the weekend, it continues. As we head into Friday morning, we have a backdoor cold front work through. More cold air continues to billow in ahead of the next storm system that arrives Friday night into Saturday morning. Our temperature trend over the next the next week or so is all over the place. We're going on a roller coaster ride. We're going up into the mid 40s today, and then we're back down to around the freezing mark for highs tomorrow. Highs around 33 on Friday, but I really want to highlight the second half of this. The high on Sunday is in the upper teens to 20 at best. By Sunday night and Monday morning, we're looking at lows around 0 degrees, single digits at best. Highs on Wednesday are going to be in the upper 40s, possibly even low 50s. So it's going to be a very drastic increase as we head into next week. Temperatures are going to skyrocket. We're going to rise about 50 degrees in a little less than 3 days. It's pretty remarkable, actually. Taking a look at the skycast for this morning, that rain becomes widespread as the morning progresses and temperatures rise as that does so. We climb into the upper 30s to low 40s. As the afternoon settles in and the sun sets, some snowflakes may develop across primarily the northern portions of the area. All of us may see a couple of snowflakes before all is said and done. Not really going to add up to anything at all or accumulate at all. Temperatures are still very mild here. Midnight, we're 34 degrees in Utica. As we progress through the forecast period, by Friday morning, again, scattered lake effect snow, primarily just a cloudy, dry day ahead of our next system that arrives Friday night into Saturday. Today, that snow changes over to rain. Highs are going to be in the low 40s, approximately 44 degrees. This evening, showers 32 to 37, a mix of rain and snow depending on your location. Snow if you're up in the North Country. Temperatures are going to be slightly above freezing, but be careful if you're in one of the cold areas, because it's going to be heading towards the freezing mark sooner than later. Your 7-day forecast, we're tracking that widespread storm and precipitation for Saturday. Much colder weather settles in for Sunday, and then we warm up drastically next week.
Steve McMurray.
And good Thursday afternoon to you. I'm Steve McMurray, in for Gary this week.
And I'm meteorologist James Fazio, in for Eric today.
So let's talk a little bit about a mixed bag. You know, we talked all the morning show that we had some snow, a little bit of ice. then some sort of freezing rain, and now it's just mixed bag in every sense of the word.
I could have just put the kitchen sink up tonight. And we could
You
have
would've
called
figured
it
it
a
out,
day
right?
for the forecast right now. But yeah, we really have seen a little bit of everything today. Fortunately, almost all of us outside the Adirondacks are now over to plain rain. So that is the one good thing. Unfortunately, though, snow returns tonight.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we're tracking rain. As you can see across our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, plenty widespread showers falling steady to heavy at times across central Oneida County. We just had a very, very nice, I should say, a very strong moderate to heavy burst come through Oneida County. We saw some pretty steady rainfall rates. This is also relatively moderate rainfall that's going to be moving through over the next hour. And it's moving very quickly, but we're still going to be seeing relatively heavy rain. Downtown Utica, primarily just wet roadways, but they're only going to continue to get wetter as the day goes on, as temperatures stay above freezing. We're going to continue to see snow melt, and as the snow continues to melt, we're going to see ponding on the roadways, and that's a bit of a concern. You're going to want to use caution, give yourself some extra time to stop, just in case of hydroplaning issues today. 36 with light rain up in Rome, 9-mile-an-hour breeze. It's not going to be all of that windy today, 5 to 15 miles per hour. And yes, I had to make a snow map. Snow returns this evening. Tonight, very lightly. Most of it falls tomorrow morning. We're only expecting a trace to an inch, a couple tenths of an inch within Utica and the Valley. The North Country is going to see a little bit more, primarily the Tug Hill, 1 to 3 inches across the Tug Hill Plateau. And this does come to an end relatively abruptly on Friday before more winter weather works in for Saturday. Tonight, those showers slowly transition from rain back to snow. We're going to have temperatures decreasing from the upper 30s down into the mid to low 30s. Coming up in full weather, we're going to be taking a look at more of that full forecast in terms of what we can expect for the rest of the weekend and how cold and warm this roller coaster ride takes us on. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. New at noon, they said never forget.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday afternoon. After a wintry start early this morning, we're over to wet weather, and that's going to continue for the majority of the day. Downtown Utica, you can see plenty of wet roadways. No real flooding concerns locally as of this time. We do want to stress, though, that we are expecting ponding on roadways today, courtesy of both rainfall and snow melt. So that's going to make some stopping on roadways a little bit more difficult than normal today. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we just had a big burst of moderate to heavy rainfall move through. We have another pocket just to the west of Oneida County right now, and this is also going to continue to track to the northeast, overspread the area. Again, we're all going to see a little bit of some moderate to heavy rain over the next hour to two. 36 degrees with light rain in Rome currently, in that east-southeast wind at 9 miles per hour, 9 miles an hour is about where we expect the wind to stay today. It's going to be between 5 and 15 miles per hour. This is all courtesy of a weak low pressure system that's tracking to our northwest. It's bringing in a lot of warmth and moisture, but unfortunately it's not going to stay. Once this low pressure center gets past us, it draws in a lot of cold air, and that's what's going to be responsible for our snow showers that develop later this evening. And as we head into Friday night, we're not expecting as we're heading into Thursday night and Friday morning, we're not expecting major accumulations, but 1 to 3 inches across the North Country. The highest of these totals are going to be on hilltops. Primarily Tug Hill Plateau is going to see 2 to 3 inches. They're going to see the high end of that range. In general, a trace to an inch, probably just a couple tenths of an inch across the Utica area. Very light accumulation. Your skycast this afternoon, we have primarily upper 30s, some low 40s out there as well. That rain becomes less widespread as we head into the later afternoon and evening hours. However, it also starts to mix with snow as it does so. We see those snow showers start to become more widespread as we head into Friday morning, but by mid-morning Friday, they begin to dissipate, and we actually get a bit of a break, and we may even see the sun for a little while in the middle of the day on Friday. Our next storm system arrives right around sunset Friday evening, and this is going to affect our weather through the night on Friday night into the day on Saturday. This evening, though, showers 32 to 37 degrees. We're going to be dropping back down in temperature after peaking around upper 30s, low 40s. Slow transition from rain back to snow. Your 7-day forecast, we go back and forth here. We're going up and down. Tonight, we go back below freezing. We got to be on the lookout for patchy black ice Friday morning. Some very light snow Friday morning, but that dissipates before midday. Saturday, we're looking at widespread rain and snow. Only accumulation is really going to be north of the valley. Then we get a bit of a break, although we get cold weather Sunday, Monday. And then there's a 50-degree temperature difference over those last 3 days on the forecast period. It's pretty crazy to see a full 50-degree swing over 3 days.
Get your sinuses ready for that.
Absolutely.
Oh,
we like to call that migraine weather.
no doubt, no doubt. All right,
Yeah.
so a little more melting, but then some more snow comes back. So we're going to be in this pattern for a while.
Exactly.
All right, thanks a lot, James. Well, the Texas measles out. Hey, good afternoon once again. Thank you for joining us for this half hour of News Channel 2 at noon. I'm Steve McMurray.
I'm James Stefazio.
And we're going to get right to the forecast. And, you know, lots of green on that. This morning there was more pink than green. Now it's a little bit of greens and yellows in there.
We're pretty much confined to wet snow just in Hamilton County, and even that really isn't accumulating very much. Everyone now is really just dealing with wet weather, which we'd rather deal with wet weather than wintry weather. we can at least, we don't have to shovel wet weather, which is very nice. And the only thing we are definitely going to have to keep an eye out for today is with temperatures above freezing and this level of rainfall, there's going to be ponding on the roadways. We're going to have to keep an eye out for water to pile up in poor drainage areas. Anywhere that, you know, a plow may have blocked a sewer with ice or snow may create a pileup of water just as a result of the amount of rain that we have moving through and these temperatures. As we can see, we've climbed all the way up into the upper 30s across central Oneida County. Even in the North Country, we're up into the mid and upper 30s. The southern tier, some areas have cracked the 40-degree mark. We'll see if we can get quite there in the city of Utica. It's currently 36 with light rain in Rome, 9-mile-an-hour wind out of the east-southeast, and that should stay right around about that strength. 1 to 3 inches of snow tonight. We're expecting snow to develop shortly after sunset, and it's going to take a while to begin to stick again, but by tomorrow morning, 1 to 3 inches of accumulation across the North Country, a couple tenths of an inch for the Mohawk Valley and points southward. Nothing major in terms of snowfall, but we do switch back over tonight. Showers go from rain in nature over to snow as the temperatures slowly decline this afternoon and evening. We drop from the upper 30s to the mid 30s and then eventually down into the low 30s. We're tracking not just that, but another round of snow for Saturday, predominantly north of the valley, and we'll have details on that coming up in full weather. Steve?
All right, James, thanks. For businesses, homeowners, and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday afternoon. After a very wintry start to our morning and day, things have become very wet out there, and they're going to stay that way for the majority of the day, but things are going to refreeze tonight. We're going up and above and below freezing. Currently, though, we're dealing with wet roadways, ponding on roadways, melting snow, steady to moderate rainfall. As you can see on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we're about to have another burst of moderate to heavy rainfall move through central Oneida County, and this is going to work its way northeastward towards Herkimer County as well. We're all going to be seeing rainfall on and off throughout the day. Currently 36 with light rain up in Rome, so that 9-mile-an-hour wind out of the east-southeast. Expect that to prevail throughout the day today. You can see we do have more moisture that's going to continue to work in throughout the day today. This area of low pressure off to our northwest has drawn in this warmer air. However, as it departs, it's also going to draw in the colder air. As it draws in the colder air, the snow works in right behind it. We see snow showers both Friday and on Saturday. You can see our next weather maker off to the west here. That arrives Friday evening. Taking a look at the snowfall forecast, this is for tonight. This is for Thursday night through Friday morning. So by 8 a.m. Friday morning, we're expecting 1 to 3 inches of snow across the North Country. Highest totals are going to be across the Tug Hill Plateau, traced to an inch for everyone else, primarily a couple tenths of an inch at most for the lowest elevations, such as within the city of Utica. Skycast, very widespread rain being depicted on the Skycast. Highs in the upper 30s to low 40s this afternoon. As we head towards later this evening, things start to change back over to snow. Colder air begins to work in. We're down from 41 to 36 in Utica. We're below freezing up in Old Forge, where they're already seeing snow. Things slowly transition. It's going to be light snow to begin the night. The second half of the night, the snow intensity really picks up, and then we see that light accumulation fall relatively quickly. By Friday, during the day, we're expecting a calm day, just a partly cloudy day, but by Friday evening, the next weather maker is already knocking on our doorstep. Widespread snow overspreads the area for Friday night, and we're expecting another light accumulation locally, possibly a little bit significant north of the valley. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we go below freezing tonight, which is a little concerning because we have to be alert for black ice tomorrow morning. We're going to be in the mid-20s when you wake up, so anything that goes untreated will absolutely be slick. Those snow showers come to an end mid-morning tomorrow. It's a calm daytime. Next weather system arrives Friday evening into Saturday. It does change over to rain in the valleys, but we are anticipating an accumulating snow for areas north of the Mohawk Valley. Calm weather for Sunday and Monday. And then warm weather with rain returns Tuesday and Wednesday. Lows Sunday night around 0, highs Wednesday near 50.
Right. Again, the roller coaster continues.
Yes.
All right. Thanks a lot, James. Well, President Trump...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday afternoon. We are slowly tracking the transition of our weather back into winter. We had wintry weather early this morning. We are now over to wet weather, and it's going to be around through the majority of the day today. Rain showers through sunset, and it's going to take time for those snow showers to really settle in. Temperatures are going to drop steadily but slowly, and the North Country is going to see snow before everyone else. The higher up you are in elevation, the earlier you see snow, but by midnight or so, everyone is seeing snow showers. Patchy black ice is going to develop tonight. Lows tonight are in the mid-20s, and we're in the mid-30s currently. Actually upper 30s in certain areas across central New York. So anything that goes untreated will be slick tomorrow morning. We're also anticipating a light accumulation of snow, a light burst of snow tonight, the highest of which is going to occur on the Tug Hill, where a couple of inches will accumulate. Then the next system arrives this Friday evening, late Friday evening, and it's going to bring widespread rain and snow to the region for Saturday. Taking a look at the radar and satellite imagery, you can see there are rounds of precipitation that have moved through. We had a blast of snow and ice this morning. More recently, we had a blast of moderate to heavy rainfall that has moved through. Back to the west, we have lighter showers, and that is what we expect to be around through the afternoon and into the evening. Back towards Buffalo, you can see some of the lighter snow showers beginning to show up there. Those are eventually going to make their way towards us as well. And this is all because this low pressure system is tracking just to our northwest. It's giving us just enough of the warm pocket to warm us up above freezing today. It drew in that really warm air, but as soon as it passes us, the wind direction changes, and we really get that cold air billowing in behind it. We have a cold front that's actually going to work through later in the day on Friday, furthering the cold air that's going to move into our region, cementing that cold air mass ahead of Saturday's system. And then things become a little bit more mild again because that warm front pushes in and we get another surge of warm air. So it's that time of the year where warm and cold air like to fight each other out across the United States. It's the changing of the seasons. The snowfall forecast for tonight, 1 to 3 inches across the North Country, a trace to an inch for everyone else. Again, not a major snowfall, not a major accumulation, and most of this falls overnight and is done by 8 a.m. Friday morning. Take a look at our temperature trend for this week. I really want to highlight the second half of this. The high on Sunday is only going to be in the upper teens to near 20. I hope we hit 20. It's going to be a very chilly day. Lows Sunday night, about 0 degrees. So we start Monday morning around 0 degrees. Wednesday, we may get up to 50. That's a 50-degree swing in less than 3 days, and it's going to be relatively steady across those 3 days. It's relatively impressive. This evening, showers are going to prevail. They will slowly transition from rain to snow. From areas to the north will transition before areas to the south, higher in elevation. Northern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County can expect to change over around sunset. The Mohawk Valley can expect to change over more around 8 or 9 p.m. or so. Again, this evening temperatures drop again from the mid-20s down into the lower, from the mid-30s down into the lower 30s. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast, there is a lot going on here, so we'll take a good bit on this. Tonight we drop down below freezing all the way down into the mid-20s, so anything that goes untreated by Friday morning with this amount of rain and these warm temperatures will be icy. We're expecting pretty widespread black ice for Friday morning. That light snow that we forecasted comes to an end early Friday morning. The daytime is relatively calm for Friday. Friday evening, though, the next system arrives. Widespread rain and snow arrives for Friday night into Saturday. We're not expecting a major accumulation for areas along the Mohawk Valley and points southward, but north of the Mohawk Valley may see several inches of snow during the day on Sunday. Regardless, it's going to be a wet, breezy day. Sunday and Monday, much colder, but much calmer as well. The weather calms down for Sunday, Monday. Showers are in the forecast for Tuesday, and a steadier rain arrives on Wednesday with temperatures in the upper 40s.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Thursday afternoon. We are slowly tracking the transition of our weather back into winter. We had wintry weather early this morning. We are now over to wet weather, and it's going to be around through the majority of the day today. Rain showers through sunset, and it's going to take time for those snow showers to really settle in. Temperatures are going to drop steadily but slowly, and the North Country is going to see snow before everyone else. The higher up you are in elevation, the earlier you see snow, but by midnight or so, everyone is seeing snow showers. Patchy black ice is going to develop tonight. Lows tonight are in the mid-20s, and we're in the mid-30s currently. Actually upper 30s in certain areas across central New York. So anything that goes untreated will be slick tomorrow morning. We're also anticipating a light accumulation of snow, a light burst of snow tonight, the highest of which is going to occur on the Tug Hill, where a couple of inches will accumulate. Then the next system arrives this Friday evening, late Friday evening, and it's going to bring widespread rain and snow to the region for Saturday. Taking a look at the radar and satellite imagery, you can see there are rounds of precipitation that have moved through. We had a blast of snow and ice this morning. More recently, we had a blast of moderate to heavy rainfall that has moved through. Back to the west, we have lighter showers, and that is what we expect to be around through the afternoon and into the evening. Back towards Buffalo, you can see some of the lighter snow showers beginning to show up there. Those are eventually going to make their way towards us as well. And this is all because this low pressure system is tracking just to our northwest. It's giving us just enough of the warm pocket to warm us up above freezing today. Drew in that really warm air, but as soon as it passes us, the wind direction changes and we really get that cold air billowing in behind it. We have a cold front that's actually going to work through later in the day on Friday, furthering the cold air that's going to move into our region, cementing that cold air mass ahead of Saturday's system. And then things become a little bit more mild again because that warm front pushes in and we get another surge of warm air. So it's that time of the year where warm and cold air like to fight each other out across the United States. It's the changing of the seasons. The snowfall forecast for tonight, 1 to 3 inches across the North Country, a trace to an inch for everyone else. Again, not a major snowfall, not a major accumulation, and most of this falls overnight and is done by 8 a.m. Friday morning. Take a look at our temperature trend for this week. I really want to highlight the second half of this. The high on Sunday is only going to be in the upper teens to near 20. I hope we hit 20. It's going to be a very chilly day. Lows Sunday night, about 0 degrees. So we start Monday morning around 0 degrees. Wednesday, we may get up to 50. That's a 50-degree swing in less than 3 days. And it's going to be relatively steady across those 3 days. It's relatively impressive. This evening, showers are going to prevail. They will slowly transition from rain to snow. From areas to the north will transition before areas to the south, higher in elevation. Northern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County can expect to change over around sunset. The Mohawk Valley can expect to change over more around 8 or 9 p.m. or so. Again, this evening temperatures drop again from the mid-20s down into the lower, from the mid-30s down into the lower 30s. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast, there is a lot going on here, so we'll take a good bit on this. Tonight we drop down below freezing all the way down into the mid-20s, so anything that goes untreated by Friday morning with this amount of rain and these warm temperatures will be icy. We're expecting pretty widespread black ice for Friday morning. That light snow that we forecasted comes to an end early Friday morning. The daytime is relatively calm for Friday. Friday evening, though, the next system arrives. Widespread rain and snow arrives for Friday night into Saturday. We're not expecting a major accumulation for areas along the Mohawk Valley and points southward, but north of the Mohawk Valley may see several inches of snow during the day on Sunday. Regardless, it's going to be a wet, breezy day. Sunday and Monday, much colder, but much calmer as well. The weather calms down for Sunday, Monday. Showers are in the forecast for Tuesday, and a steadier rain arrives on Wednesday with temperatures in the upper 40s.
Time now for a first look at the forecast. Meteorologist Samantha Wessing in for Bill tonight. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys also.
We got a little bit of rain out there,
A little bit of rain, starting to switch over to snow, though. As you can see, the radar behind me getting those different colors out there right now. You can see up to our north, starting to switch a little bit of snow, especially in the higher elevations. The lower elevations still could be seeing some rain right now, but we will see that slow, gradual switch to snow as we head into tonight, into your Friday morning. But rain here, as you can see, along the thruway still. Currently outside, we're still sitting at 37 degrees out there. A little bit chilly, though. You definitely can feel those temperatures beginning to decrease as we head throughout the hours tonight. Rain showers, those are slowly going to become snow showers as those temperatures continue to drop. Watch out for some patchy black ice, especially on those untreated surfaces as this water does begin to freeze throughout the overnight hours. Any type of accumulations, though, tonight will be highest to our north, but not looking at too much as far as snowfall goes. The next system, though, that's going to arrive Friday into Saturday, and that's going to bring another one of those rain-snow mixes. Watching, though, those live river forecasts right there, nothing looking to be flooded, looking to stay pretty good, especially for this time of year. Something we like to keep an eye on. And like I said, as we head overnight tonight, we'll get back down into the 20s to start the day on Friday. We do start dry Friday morning, but like I said, much more in the way of that rain, snow back as we head to the end of the work week. More of my forecasts coming up. Back over to you, Jason.
All right, Sam, thank you. New York State Forest Rangers.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. What a dreary day today. We're talking a lot of rain in the forecast, and a lot of that rain already beginning to switch over to snow as we continue out the evening hours tonight. Let's take a look. Downtown Utica, just a wet, gray day out there for today. Not much in the way of sunshine. That rain continuing right on into this evening. Temperatures beginning to drop. We were in the 40s just about an hour ago. We're back down into the 30s now. We're going to continue to see those temperatures dropping as we head into the overnight hours. We're talking lows down to the 20s as we head overnight tonight. Down to the Southern Valley, still hanging on to the 40s a little bit, 43 in Cooperstown, 43 in Oneonta. Let's take a look at that Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar right along the thruway. Still hanging on to that rain, and this is where we're not going to see too much of that snow switch over, and if it does, not looking at much as far as accumulations. Up to our north, though, snow beginning to take over as well as down to our south. Still, though, not talking a lot as far as accumulations, and you can see out to our west that switch to snow happening a little bit earlier there than for us. That's what we're going to continue to see as we head throughout the night tonight. System passed over us this afternoon. That's what's bringing us that switch in the rain to snow. Next system, a cold front. This will swing down through tomorrow afternoon, bringing us more in the way of snow, it looks like, for tomorrow into Saturday. Then a big cold front on Saturday, really big drop in our temperatures and talking more in the way of some wet weather back for the start of the weekend. Let's take a look as we time everything out, continuing into the overnight hours. As you can see, that switch over to snow, a little bit of breaks here and there, looks to be a little bit scattered, not a widespread event, but as we head overnight, does turn into a little bit more in the way of snow, especially north of the Thruway. By the start of the morning on Friday, things will clear out. Clouds will not, though, mostly cloudy throughout much of the day. And then that next system approaching, bringing us some light snow by Friday evening into the overnight hours as well. And that's when we're going to start to see that drop in our temperatures. But as you can see, as far as snowfall, not much along the Thruway and not too much up to the north, but Tug Hill probably will see the most as far as snowfall goes from this system. So again, for tonight, lows really going to begin to drop. We're in the 40s today. We're going to get back down into the mid-20s as we head throughout those overnight hours. Scattered rain and snow showers tonight for tomorrow. Not as warm as we've been seeing. We're back into the 30s for tomorrow. Mostly cloudy throughout much of the day, and then that snow returning as we head into the evening hours for tomorrow. Let's take a look, though, at that 7-day forecast. Like I said, a lot going on. Saturday looks like a big weather maker. Like I said, that cold front, very strong. It's going to swing through on Saturday, really bring a drop in our temperatures. We're talking down into the 20s again, below zero almost overnight into Sunday to Monday, but we do get that sun back by the start of the week. And then look at that warm up. Look at the difference between the temperatures on Sunday and then back by the middle of the week. We're talking almost 30, 50 as we head into the middle of the week.
Shush, don't get me that excited.
I know. This was a little bit of a tease, that warm weather.
Going out at 40 degrees this week, it was like warm.
I know. I felt it, even feeling, you can feel the drop in the temperatures right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can. All right. Thank you, Sam. Now to Texas. Measles out. Let's get you back over to meteorologist Samantha Wessing, and a lot of this rain is starting to turn over to snow.
It is, especially north of us and a little bit south of us, but along the Thruway, still holding on to that rain as temperatures are right there in the mid-30s. But we're going to see that slow switch, especially, like I said, along the Thruway as we head into the later night, overnight hours into your Friday morning. But there's a look at that Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Just a lot going on out there. And this is what it's going to look like a lot for the next couple of days. We're talking a lot of that rain-snow mix into the start of the weekend. 37 degrees outside right now. What I'm going to be watching as we head into tonight, those rain showers as they become snow showers, as those temperatures continue to drop into the overnight hours. So we don't be aware of patchy black ice in the morning, especially on those untreated surfaces as those temperatures do dip below freezing. And then that next system arriving Friday evening into Saturday with that looking like a little bit of rain, snow, more in the way of snow though as we head into Saturday. Keeping an eye on the rivers and stuff as those conditions continue to melt. So far, everything looking to be good. As we head into the overnight tonight, you can see those temperatures beginning to drop into the 20s. So a very chilly start to the morning on Friday. Colder temperatures on their way. I have a closer look at my full forecast coming up. Back with you, Jason.
All right, thank you, Sam. Hundreds of small jets.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. We're talking dreary skies out there, mostly cloudy, not so much sun at all as we head throughout your Thursday. And we're going to continue to see that rain, snow as we head overnight tonight. Take a look downtown Utica. Just look at that wet ground out there. Still sticking to rain here in Utica, but we're starting to see that switch on the radar. Along with that switch, we're going to be seeing those temperatures really beginning to drop as we continue right into the mid-30s in Oneida County up to our north. 33 in Otter Lake, 34 in Inlet. Down in the Southern Valley, still sticking to the 40s out in Otsego County and Cooperstown, but those temperatures slowly beginning to drop as well. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, rain holding on along the Thruway. As you can see here, it's going to have a harder time switching to snow here in the Mohawk Valley, but as you can see up to our north as well as down to our southern tier. We're talking more in the way of snow, light snow, not too much as far as accumulation goes, but that's what we're going to be seeing is that wet weather as we head into tonight. And as we kind of zoom out a little, you see that snow switching out to our west a little bit sooner than we saw here, and that's going to continue into tonight. Now, a system moved over us today. Now, that's what brought us that rain, snow throughout the majority of the day today. Next playmaker, this system will drop down later on Friday, and with that, it's going to bring more in the way of rain, snow Friday night into Saturday. Then we're watching a very strong cold front for Saturday. It's going to really drop our temperatures and bring us a chance for that rain-snow mix again to start the weekend. As we head throughout the night tonight, as you can see that rain, snow kind of throughout the overnight, get a little more scattered as we head late tonight into your Friday morning. A couple snow flurries to begin the day Friday, but we do dry out into the afternoon. Clouds staying in place, so mostly cloudy. And then as we head into the night on Friday, switching back over to snow, and then some snow into Friday night. But not talking as much accumulation goes for what we're getting tonight. A little bit more up in the Northern Valley, and we're going to see a little bit more in the Tug Hill as well. Tonight we get down to the 20s, scattered rain and snow showers overnight. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Snow showers by the afternoon into the 30s. And like I said, a little bit messy weather for the start of the weekend. Windy, some rain, snow on Saturday, but we're back to that sunshine by the second half of the weekend. More of News Channel 2 after the break.
Forecast at 6 with meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Well, good evening. What a wet day it was out there. Rain throughout the majority of the day, starting to switch over to snow, especially north of the Thruway and south of the Thruway as well. Right there along the Thruway, still hanging on to that rain, as you can see, but it's slowly going to make that switch over to snow as we head into the later night, overnight hours towards your Friday morning. Look at those temperatures really beginning to drop. We're back down into the mid-30s, 35 degrees out there in Utica. So what I'm watching, rain showers slowly becoming snow showers as those temperatures continue to drop. So we want to be aware of patchy black ice, especially Friday morning on those untreated surfaces, as those temperatures are going to be down near the 20s to start the day on Friday. The next system arriving Friday evening, and with that we're looking at another round of that rain snow. Keeping an eye on the rivers as everything's beginning to melt, that rain continuing, but everything's still looking good. We're not dealing with any issues here in the Mohawk Valley. And as we head overnight, look at that change in temperatures between midnight to 5 a.m. We're back down into the 20s, like I said, to start. It does look dry to start on Friday, but like I said, a lot of that mixed weather on its way as we head towards the weekend. Full look at my forecast coming up. Back over to you, Jason.
All right, Sam, thank you. Multiple cats and dogs.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. We saw rain throughout the majority of the day today. Not much in the way of sunshine. We're going to be seeing those mixed conditions for the next couple of days. Let's take a look downtown Utica. You can see that rain still coming down. Wet roadways out there, so that rain's still continuing here. I do have to wish my mom a happy birthday today. She's right there in the middle of that picture. Jason's yelling happy birthday as well. I can't not say it, Mom, so don't be too mad. We're going to dinner right after this for her birthday. Temperatures slowly dropping, though, as we head into the evening. We're already into the low 30s up to our north. Mid-30s here in Oneida County, still hanging on to the upper 30s. Oh, Cooperstown finally below 40. We're going to continue to see that steady drop in temperatures as we head towards your Friday morning. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Rain holding on here along the Thruway. Not going to see too much in the way of snow accumulations, especially in that area, but you can see that rain switching over to snow in the North Country as well as down to the Southern Valley, but still not talking too much as far as accumulations. As I zoom out, you can see that rain that continued throughout the day, switching over to snow a little quicker out to our west. System passed over us today, causing that wet weather. This is the next playmaker Friday evening. This will swing on down. With it, it's going to bring more of that rain-snow mix and a drop in our temperatures. But what we're really watching is a cold front on Saturday. With that, we're going to bring in much colder temperatures for the weekend, as well as more in the way of rain and snow. As we time that skycast out, heading into tonight, you'll see kind of get a little more scattered as we head into this evening. A little more of the way of snow up to our north. And then as we head overnight, some scattered snow showers. Does look to dry out by Friday morning. Clouds, though, sticking with us throughout the majority of the day on Friday. That system beginning to approach us, and as you can see with that, some light snow by Friday evening into the nighttime hours. And again, not too much as far as accumulation goes with that tonight into tomorrow, but not too much with Friday as well. As far as tonight into tomorrow, you can see not much along the Thruway. Be lucky if that switches over to snow, more on the way up to our north, especially in the Tug Hill region. So for tonight, we're back down into the mid-20s, scattered rain and snow showers into the overnight hours. Dry to start on Friday, mostly cloudy, and then we'll see those snow showers as temperatures get into the low to mid-30s. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast, Saturday, got a lot of activity going on Saturday. Cold front moves on through, brings us that rain-snow mix, some windier conditions, and then take a look at those temperatures second half of the weekend. We're back into the 20s to start the week. Luckily, some sunshine, and then look at that big difference between Sunday to Wednesday. 20s on Sunday, almost to 50 by Wednesday.
Yeah, 3-day stretch. 30-degree difference.
Yes, and at least it's sunny on those cold days, though, so I can take the sun.
We can take that. And happy birthday to your mom.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thanks, Sam. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. Spencer's live in Westfield. The forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Carter. You weren't at the graduation
Yeah, I actually
today.
know one of the graduates, Brian Johnson, great guy.
Great. Well, he's
Yeah.
out to serve and protect, so it was good
Yes.
that you were able to go. Hey,
Yeah.
we've got this warm-up, and it's going to be a little bit colder, but I'm kind of liking what we're seeing in this thaw here.
Yeah, this has been an extended thaw. This has been 4 days. I mean, we couldn't buy a day above freezing just like literally a week ago. And for like the entire winter, we've had more days above
For
freezing.
2 months, we haven't seen that.
More days in a row above freezing than the past 2 months.
Yeah.
And this is the direction that we're going, at least for the long term. We will have a couple of cooler days in between. It looks like Sunday and Monday are going to be very cold days before it starts to warm up again. But again, we are turning a corner here weather-wise. Temperature is still above freezing. It's 36 degrees, cloudy skies. We've been seeing a few light rain and snow showers moving across the region. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, we'll see that mix of rain and snow showers tonight. Temperatures will fall below freezing, so there could be some patchy black ice here heading towards tomorrow morning. We're above freezing again on Friday as well as Saturday, but some cold weather looks to arrive as we head into Sunday and Monday. Temperatures tonight drop into the mid-20s. Patchy black ice is expected on untreated surfaces. Again, tracking some colder weather in our future. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A stunning announcement.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It's been a wet day today and another day with melting snow, a temperature of 36 degrees. We're still above freezing for now, but that's going to change tonight. As cold air drops in from the north, we'll start to see temperatures fall below freezing. A little bit of a freeze here heading into tomorrow. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few light snow showers are out there, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. We will get a very light accumulation of snow north. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet here heading into tonight. More rain and snow showers will be moving in over the next couple of hours, and then things will dry out heading towards tomorrow morning. Again, most of us are still above freezing. Westerville 37, Little Falls 36, but it is 32 degrees in Otter Lake and 31 in Inlet. Cooperstown 36 and Oneonta with 34. Again, scattered showers continue to move in from the west, but notice the trend. We're starting to dry out, and we are expecting quieter conditions as we head towards tomorrow. As this cold front drops in from the north, it does look cooler here heading into tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the upper 20s, so watch out on untreated surfaces tomorrow morning. There could be a few slippery spots. Could see a flurry very early in the day, but I think the majority of the day looks dry. Looking at mostly cloudy skies, temperatures climb into the upper 20s to low 30s. The next weather system rolls in from the west. This one produces widespread snow beginning around sunset and continuing through Friday night. Temperatures will be right around freezing, so it's expected to be a wet, slushy snow, and it looks to continue through Saturday morning. We'll see some scattered snow showers heading into Saturday afternoon, along with windy conditions. We pick up additional snow tomorrow night, and I think we're looking at 2 to 5 inches north of the Mohawk Valley. For the Mohawk Valley and Southern Valleys, a trace to 2 inches of snowfall is expected again. This is for Friday night into early Saturday. A few scattered showers tonight, low temperature of 25. Again, watch out for icy surfaces. And looking at mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. Could see a snow shower too, especially late in the day. 34 for the high. It's windy on Saturday. Snow showers turn over to rain showers, 38. Cold weather settles in. Sunday and Monday, temperatures will be in the 20s. You see the goose egg for Sunday night. Temperatures will rebound. We'll be back into the 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Sam made a good point at 6 o'clock. It was like Sunday's 20. Wednesday could be 50. That's a 30-degree swing. I mean, that's what happens this time of year.
Or
so.
just going from 0 Sunday night to 50. Yeah,
I do the math. That's crazy.
that's a lot.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Coming up next, a flag raising, additional support to people and communities as they struggle to recover from this severe weather. In a letter to the governor, the lawmaker said, Quote, "It's important assistance during past natural disasters and severe weather events, including flooding, tornadoes, and blizzards, has been offered by the state. Well, the same should be done now to help those who have suffered from this event." Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis with a first look at the forecast. And this is an interesting map because there's no real numbers on the side. How much snow in this heavy purple are we talking for the North Country?
So this is the season snowfall. This is an estimate. I keep getting this question all the time.
Yeah.
How much snow has fallen across the area? 240 to 360 inches of snow in the Tug Hill from this estimate. Now, this is using satellites
Sure.
to try to fill in the gaps because we have a hard time getting spotters to measure this. There's just lots and lots of gaps in the data. By the way, if you want to take a closer look at this map, find your spot on here. I've got this on my Facebook page. Just search for my name.
Cool.
We are tracking a little bit of snow tonight. Not going to see big numbers here, but we could pick up an inch or two of accumulation. Our current temperature is 30 degrees. We've fallen below freezing, so there's some patchy black ice out there on untreated surfaces. They could be quite slippery, especially with all the melting snow that we saw today. We're keeping an eye on the radar. You can see the very bottom left-hand side, starting to see some light snow break out. More of that will be moving in tonight. We're looking at a region-wide inch or two of accumulation. Temperatures will climb into the 40s tomorrow, so any snow that does accumulate will be quick to melt tomorrow afternoon. A couple more days above freezing before it gets cold by Sunday and Monday. Snow breaks out tonight. Temperatures will stay around 30 degrees. We're tracking a little bit of a warm-up here for tomorrow. Look at the forecast coming up. Chase, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Now to the latest developments in the fatal beat.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're tracking some light snow that will be moving into central New York tonight. I'm live looking downtown Utica, where we've had an extended thaw and plenty of melting snow, but we're now below freezing. So untreated surfaces are getting slippery tonight. Something to keep in mind first thing tomorrow morning. We will climb above freezing tomorrow, so any icy spots will be melting. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Here's the leading edge of some light snow starting to work in from the south. And again, there's more of this to come. We're expecting an inch or two of accumulation tonight. And should we at least get a quarter of an inch of snow, we will end up breaking triple digits for the season of Utica. The total snowfall so far, right now it's 99.7 inches. We are well above average. The average snowfall for the whole season is 95 inches, so we've already broken that. We continue to watch area streams and rivers with the melting snow today. We have not had any significant issues. Again, we'll continue to follow this throughout the rest of the week and really the rest of the late winter to early spring as the snow continues to melt. So you look at the bigger picture. Again, we're tracking this area of low pressure moving in. The front end of this brings us some snow. As this area of low pressure goes to the west, a warm air from the south will work in, and this does turn over to rain for tomorrow. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, again, widespread snow overnight. Temperatures will climb above freezing by tomorrow morning, and any snow on the roads will be melting. There could be a couple of slippery spots for your morning commute, but things improve throughout the course of the day. So by the afternoon and evening, look at this. Temperatures will be in the low 40s. So there's going to be a lot more snow melt tomorrow. In addition to that, some widespread rain. Temperatures will fall below freezing tomorrow night. Rain showers briefly turn over to snow showers. We'll see a few snow showers early Friday morning, and then we'll get a chance to dry out with temperatures in the low 30s. Rainfall totals tomorrow will pick up another quarter to half an inch of rain, which is similar amounts to what we saw yesterday. Tonight, snow, an inch or two of accumulation, low temperature of 30. Tomorrow, rain, high temperature of 44. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather warms up again on Saturday, a mix of rain and snow. There could be several inches of snow north of the Mohawk Valley Saturday. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Sunday looks dry and cold, 20 degrees, 27 on Monday after starting out near zero. We're back into the 40s as we look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.